Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm here with my good friend Joe DiProfrio. We are going to start our podcast called, what is it, Joe?
The vitality mentality.
Oh yeah, and Joe, just turn down your input on your headphones a little bit. It's a little high when you yell.
Sorry, I just get a little excited.
That's okay. That's okay. So, guys, this is going to be a really great podcast, I feel, for our first time, but I do want to make sure that you guys can hear Joe. So, if you can hear Joe, please let me know in that comment section really quick. And that would be very helpful to me.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, tuning into a live stream. Hey, what's up, Hermione? Hermione Darkness. Medic, everyone's tuning in. Okay, you guys can hear Joe. Oh, this is awesome, man. We figured it out. Our first
Sweet.
try.
All
Got
right.
So guys, next time I will have audio. I mean, I will have video for Joe as well. Um it just OBS would not connect to Skype for some reason, and it was getting really annoying. But so today, guys, today's video, as you saw from the title, it's pretty intense. Joe, why don't you tell the title to everybody?
So today's title is The Scary Truth, Miss America Body Shaming, and Health is for Stupid People.
So yeah, so guys, I don't know if you know this, if you're not in America, but basically what they're trying to do is take out the swimsuit competition for Miss America. Well, there's this the walking in the swimsuit and then the evening gown, and this has been very controversial because it's almost like our society in America. It's almost like we shame you if you're in shape and you want to flaunt being in shape, and we promote anything that is not it has nothing to do with being in shape. So you can be plus size, you can be curvy, you can be all these things, but now it's like we're going down this road where it's like if you are in shape, you're the one being shamed now, as opposed to just accepting everybody.
Right. And I mean, the way that I look at it is that, with the actual requirements for the Miss America pageant require you to be a physically fit, well-rounded individual. And if they're taking all of this stuff out, does that mean that being a well-rounded individual doesn't mean being fit?
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel. So maybe we should start off the podcast by doing a little bit of explaining a little bit like how the pageant started. When the pageant first started, guys, it was a swimsuit competition. It was literally girls walking in their bathing suits on the beach, and it was a competition. It wasn't even a pageant. But then over time, it evolved into a pageant and turned into what it is today. And taking the swimsuit portion out of that is almost kind of spitting in the face of what gave the pageant its stat to begin with. And it almost seems like to me, Joe, that they're trying to really take advantage of the Me Too movement, and they're trying to take advantage of people not wanting to be accepting of people who are plus size and all that, and they're trying to figure out a way to like revitalize this pageant.
Right. There's a few folks. They're talking about the pageants. Like, okay, so pageants. I mean, the Miss America pageant itself started in 1921. Okay, so it's an 89-year-old tradition, and if it's something that's going to be used as a platform to promote some sort of agenda, then just get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was actually reading there's a lot of news articles, and I was reading one where they're even talking about there's like a Miss America Facebook group of like 3,000 people, and all these women were basically chiming in, and they're basically saying, why is this happening? Rest in peace, the pageant's over. And it's like if you are a well-rounded individual, why can't you be smart? Why can't you have a talent? And why can't you also take care of your body? Is what it comes down to. You should be able to do all those things. It's like why should we lower our own standards to meet those of people who are too lazy to raise theirs? And they talk about the pageant being this like charade where we just like have women walk around half naked on stage, just for our amusement. But they're forgetting that the women who participate in this pageant, they like doing that. They want to show off that they are smart and sexy. There should be nothing wrong with that. Everyone on this channel, obviously we're into bodybuilding. I'm super into bodybuilding. That's why I have this channel. I've never competed on stage before because I just don't really care for it. But it's not like I'm gonna try to make a statement and say, why are we parading all these people on stage in board shorts and thongs and bathing suits? And it's demeaning to these people just because I don't want to do it. And the news article was talking about how they interviewed lots of women who would like to compete, but they don't want to flaunt themselves on stage. Well, then find a different competition. Don't do this one. Like,
Right.
if you don't want to walk around on stage in a bathing suit, which is part of the competition, then why do they have to change the rules when you should just find something else to do? Like,
Right.
I don't want to go on stage and tan and all and I mean I don't want to have to diet down and go on stage and be super tan and smell weird doing bodybuilding competitions, so I don't do
Exactly.
it.
And if you think about it, right, like every single Miss America winner, competitor, any of them, they all made the conscious decision to do what they're doing. They all decided that they were going to compete. They applied. They went for it. And I went around, like I said earlier, I went around on the actual like missamerica.org website and just took a look. I wanted to see what the requirements to be a contestant were. You have to be 17 to 25. Obviously, you have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to meet the residency for competing in any city or state that you might compete in, and you have to meet whatever the criteria of the Miss America organization is. So that's kind of vague. But the one that stuck out is you have to be in reasonably good health. And if like the swimsuit and stuff like that comes out of it, right? How are they going to judge if you're in moderately good health? I mean, there's all these different things like Spanx and like waist trimmers and stuff like that. And there's like the formal wear part of it is going out too. You can wear whatever you want now. So are we going to be expecting like it's the Miss America competition? So are the best of the best going to be people that are showing up and wearing like sweatpants and pajamas on stage that can sing?
Yeah, and that's something too. Like, in any kind of competition, like even if you watch these talent shows, what are some of the popular talent shows right now that are on TV with like Ryan Seacrest and whatnot?
Like America's Got Talent.
Like America's Got Talent, right? So so usually if you can sing, you're pretty much guaranteed to win on that show or make it to the next round over somebody who can like juggle friggin' bowling ball pins. So should we make it like illegal to or against the rules to be able to sing on these talent shows because that talent is weighed more than me juggling bowling ball pins? Like, it's friggin' stupid. And I'm scrolling up to a comment, Joe, by SXC97, and he says, I couldn't agree more. I hate how people prioritize self-love and accepting yourself over actually being healthy. And that brings up another thing. So if you love yourself and you love your body and you think you're sexy, then get your ass on stage in a bathing suit. If you think you look great, then you should have nothing to be ashamed of. So then why can't you go on stage and be 50 to 80 pounds overweight and do the swimsuit portion? If we're all about acceptance and you're trying to tell me that that's considered healthy and that's considered, being at the top of your category for your own personal health, then fine. Then I'll accept that. But don't tell me that you think you're healthy, but then you don't want to do all these other things. Like, there's two sides to this coin.
Right. And I mean, one of the things that I know people are going to come at this with is that, the women that, place in these competitions and do so well in them and everything like that, like they go through all these sorts of crazy means, yada, yada, yada. And, maybe some of them don't have super healthy relationships with food, but I actually looked up some statistics from the Miss America pageants 1921 to now, right? And I think like there's actually some really interesting stuff. So obviously it's an annual pageant, so there's been 89 between now and then. The average height of a Miss America winner is 5'6". The average weight of a winner was 121 pounds, and if you compare that on the BMI, that's a 19.5, which is well within normal weight range for that height. The average age is 23 years old. Now, here's I think like the really interesting indicator, right? Because in the Miss America competition, there's there's the preliminary competition, and then there's the final night, and 53.9% of winners of the American Miss America pageant also won the preliminary swimsuit round because that helped them to display their fitness and wellness oriented mindset. On the scorecard, it's actually referred to as lifestyle and fitness swimwear.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a really good point to make, Joe, because at the end of the day, the people winning the competition, it's like as soon as people hear like the word swimsuit, they automatically assume it's like some stick figure on stage. And it's like, here's a news flash to all the ignorant people. Being anorexic stick figure isn't healthy looking either and is not going to look good on stage as well. So there's that to consider. What else was I going to say? Oh, by the way, guys, is my audio better? I turned it up to be a bit louder. You guys said my audio was lower than Joe's. Is that better for you guys? Let's
Looks like
see.
it's going well.
Yeah.
I can see a couple of perfects.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and it's like, it comes down to this: people need to learn how to deal with real life. We are starting to live in a society where you can just have an opinion, have enough people to get behind your opinion, and then it's easier to just bitch and complain about things than actually learning how to deal with it and move forward. Like the only way I've been able to persevere as a human being and grow as a person is to learn how to deal with conflict and things I don't like and things I do like. And just like now, like actually, oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. So, I saw a random movie today. It was called Fahrenheit 451. Have you ever seen that, Joe?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about the book.
So yeah, so it's a book and it was also a movie. It has the dude who played Killmonger in Black Panther in it, Michael B. Jordan. But anyways, so they basically they're firemen, but they burn books. Like that's like their job, and they've burned books for so long that they've kind of forgot what like the history of America is. And they've been told that like Benjamin Franklin was the first person to start burning books. Like it's really dumb. but so the scene I saw today, they found this house full of books, right? And Michael B. Jordan's in there with his boss, and his boss is picking up books, and he's like, Huck Finn. It's about a white dude and a black slave, and he's like, the blacks didn't like it, so we burned the book. And he picks up another book, and it has a Native American in it. He's like, this book's all about Native Americans. The whites didn't like it, so we burnt it. And then he picked up another book, and he's like, the feminists didn't like this book, so we burnt it. And he's basically just going through all these different books and saying that we burnt them because a certain group of people didn't like it. And then he's like, we're not all born equal. We have to make ourselves equal. So that's why we burn everything. And then I was watching that today, and I said to my wife, I'm like, this is like literally what's happening in America today is so many things, like so many opinions are being forced to be changed to deal with other people getting butthurt about them instead of us just accepting each other and accepting that we are different and moving on with our lives. It's like we have to what's the word, conform to like everybody's opinion and just accept it and not have our own and be individuals.
Right. And I mean, just on that note too, the whole, one person's opinion being louder than somebody else's and changing basically how we do everything. I think that the what makes America a really great place and what helps us to grow as a people, as a country, is the ability to have different opinions and to discuss those different opinions. Like having differences of opinion shouldn't ever come down to something like a fist fight or anything like that. Like it should always just be discourse. Talking about different things between different people is how you grow. It's how you learn new things and new ways of looking at things.
I agree with you 100%. And like with the rise of social media and everybody wanting to garner likes and followers, people will adhere to somebody like bitching and complaining because they know if they adhere to it, they'll just gain likes and attention from it. So it's almost like you have people and organizations and businesses, which the Miss America pageant, definitely one of these businesses, totally trying to take advantage of the Me Too movement I did read online that there was some scandals that had happened recently in Miss America where pageant winners were basically bribing the judges with money or whatever to win, which is going to happen in any business, any competition. Not saying that it's right, but the article kind of went on to say like they're trying to probably save face from that. The pageant isn't as watched as it used to be, so instead of sticking behind what they believe in, they're just conforming to this Me Too movement and conforming to, being healthy isn't cool anymore. Being plus size is apparently. So they're just getting rid of that, trying to garner this attention. I don't know if you ever watched the show. My wife watches this show called Project Runway. All right. And for the longest time, the on Project Runway, all the contestants, they're all fashion designers. And they would make dresses, and they would make dresses for models, and all the models were super, super thin. And then recently, they started to have plus size models on the show, which is totally fine. Like I said, guys, we're not here to say, being healthy is being ripped. Where being healthy, you can be plus size and still be healthy depending on your diet and exercise program. Like, we're not trying to judge anyone. We're just trying to prove points. But anyways, what really pissed me off about this show is you had plus size models and just regular models, not like anorexic skinny women, just regular, skinny women that are in shape and healthy, going down the runway. Whenever a plus size model walked down the runway, all the judges were like, "That's what a real woman looks like." And I look at my wife and I'm like, how disrespectful is that to all the other women models on this show, that they just want to conform so much to gain attention and gain likes and gain views that they're just going to insult other women, and when the plus size model comes down, immediately be like, that is a real woman right there. Like, that just, it doesn't make sense in my head. Like, why can't they all be real women? Why if we're trying to be living in this society where we accept people for who they are, why are we leaning so far away from accepting that somebody who works out is healthy and it's okay to be like that?
Right. It's almost like by being more accepting of other people, right? Other people with different, body sizes and things like that, right? So being more accepting of a plus size model, right? Doing that the way that it's currently going is actually being discriminatory towards the regular size models.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, and that's nonsense. You just accept everyone and don't lift somebody up because they're just different from everyone else that's competing.
yeah, exactly. So let's talk to some of you guys in the chat right now. Let's see. How do you guys feel about, or what do you think health in America right now is like? What do you guys think is the problem in America right now? Do you agree with what we're saying, or do you have your own ideas, or do you think we're wrong? We want to know. We want to chat with you guys. Apparently, some of these people are more interested in trying to say I look old. Yeah, I look so old. I'm so
Oh yeah,
horrible. Let's see. Lou Dova, I'm British and people here are terribly out of shape too. I mean, that was the. It's just it's starting to go. It's starting to basically take on the world.
right. I mean, like, just one of the things, I just had to look this up because I was curious. I took a look at the top 10 most obese countries as of July 1st, 2017. The United States of America is on top with 109,342,839 obese people in the country.
Oh my God, yeah. And we enable this. Like how many times have you gone out and seen like a 6-year-old kid that's like 30 pounds overweight and they're like screaming for an ice cream, and just to shut their kid up, their parents give them an ice cream because now you can't discipline your kid because it's not okay to discipline kids because apparently that's like child abuse or something now. Like you can't even be a parent. Like we're the new generation of kids is growing up in a society where they're taught that from a very young age that no, if you just scream and complain and complain and complain, you will eventually get what you want, and you don't have to have any sort of self-respect or any sort of what's the word I'm looking for, Joe? Like you don't have to have
Any sort of dignity.
yeah, basically, that's any sort of dignity. You just grow up expecting to have everything handed to you, and if anybody has an opinion that's different than yours and hurts your feelings, you can just complain about it, and then you win. Like you just win.
Right. It's pretty much as soon as you can come, and this is what people do all the time, just in general. As soon as you can come from the stance of being a victim, you're automatically right.
Yeah, exactly. And I like this. So Action Man, he says I like and support women fitness competition programs. And so when someone like me and even you, Joe, obviously, because we're both into fitness, when we see that the Miss American pageant is getting rid of the swimsuit competition, and they basically say, "Oh, you're just parading women around in their bikinis." Like, what if these people went to a fitness competition? They'd all like die of heart attacks. They'd be like, "Oh my God, these girls! They're standing on stage. They're told to stand straight, turn to the left, bend over, turn to the right, flex." Like, if they went to one of these shows, their heads would explode from the women being paraded on stage like cattle. I'm sure they would say.
Yeah, I went to the OCB national competitions with a friend last this last October, I think. And I mean, we got there in time for the women's physique competition, and that was exactly what it was. They were all lined up. They would say, okay, everybody turn to the left, everybody look toward the, look front. And I think more than half the time they were on stage, they had their backs to the judges and they were just showing off their butts. But they all loved it. They weren't up there being like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm being objectified and looked at like this. Like they prepared for that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you have to have a routine. You have to know what you're doing.
Exactly. And like if you like the dedication that some of these women put into their fitness and their health and things like that is insane. And just the normal person just eats whatever they think that they should eat, and they're not informed about what they're putting in their faces. And like not only have these women like made the decision to like Kina just said, they've made the decision to go up on stage and put the effort in and put the time in and get it done, and then they're getting judged by everybody else because they look a certain way and because they've been standing up on stage for hours.
Exactly. And Queena just made a post. She said standing on stage is their choice. They are not slaved or forced to do it. The fat ones who didn't put any effort in making their body look good are the ones complaining about it. And there's a lot of truth to what she said. Like the women, like, okay, guys, my wife, she loves to buy shoes, she loves to buy clothes, and then when she buys her shoes and clothes, she likes to buy makeup. And once she has all of these things, which my wife has a lot of, she then likes to play dress up like any other, well, not any other, but most women. She likes to put on makeup. I tell my wife I like her better without makeup. She likes to put on makeup and she likes to look cute. And when we go out to town, she likes to look cute for herself, not just other people. And these competitions, they're, yes, obviously they're trying to win, but a lot of these women, they like to do it because it makes them feel good about themselves. They work their butts off to look a certain way, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking to get attention for hard work. Like just like they're not taking, like I said, the talent portion out of Miss America. But if you like getting attention because everyone likes to hear you sing, does that make you a shitty person? It's the same exact thing. It's the same
Right.
exact thing. And then I saw another comment. Let me just scroll up real quick from my buddy here. Why is it so many comments from you guys, which is awesome. Now I can't find it. It was from Fitness Geek. Fitness Geek. Oh, there it is. Reminds me of the Cash Me Outside girl. Kids today now see her as a role model for them since she made a lot of money by being disrespectful, and these idiots on TV promoted it and still are. And that is exactly right, and that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. The more loud, obnoxious, disrespectful you can be on social media, the faster you're going to gain followers, the faster you're going to get free marketing from other people who want to talk about you being crazy, and the more money you're going to make. It's a lot easier to be a complete douchebag and make a ton of money on the social media game. That's just the way it is.
Right. And I mean, the thing about like the Cash Me Outside girl, and I think someone mentioned Lil Tay, right? Like these kids, like they have no sense of accountability. They've never had to actually like do anything for themselves like a day in their life. Like we were talking about before, they were, loud and screaming when they were kids, and then their moms just gave them French fries and told them to shut up, and they were fine. And that was just what started the trend, right?
Exactly.
Kid screams, kid gets stuff, kid shuts up, and that's just how it's been.
Have you ever seen the show My 600 Pound Life?
Yes, I have.
Have you guys in the chat ever seen that show, My 600 Pound Life? This show blows my mind. First of all, let me see if people. Let's wait for the chat to catch up to what we're saying.
Yeah,
Oh, look at this, Daniela Ramos. This is the kind of problem has been going on for a while. To be honest, I used to get picked on in high school for being a skinny girl. Now I get told I have skinny privilege and other dumb shit because I stay in shape. That is exactly true. I actually have a stepsister who's about my age, and she was just like you. She was always a toothpick. It's just her genetics. My sister's had 3 kids, and she's still like a toothpick. And she always gets told to eat food, and she always gets told she's too skinny. But it's like she eats all the time, and she doesn't even really work out. It's just her genetics. So, you're gonna get judged no matter how you look. And if your skin isn't thick enough to be able to take whatever people are telling you in stride, you're just gonna grow up always being unhappy.
right. And that, like, I think that what you just said, right? If you just let people get to you, you're just gonna grow up and be unhappy all the time. I think that people forget that they're all responsible for their own happiness, right? So if you're not taking that responsibility and saying, nope, this is what makes me happy, so this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm going to present myself, then you're doing it wrong. You're not giving yourself like you're not being your true self.
Yeah, exactly. Look at these comments. This person's saying that I'm white privilege. If anything, being white's not cool anymore. If anything, Asian privilege is much bigger in America than white privilege. Not that you should even care about that. You know what? I wish I was Hispanic or black. I would have got more scholarships for college because I couldn't get any of them. But that can be a whole other podcast for another day. So enough with the white privilege bullshit because at the end of the day, it's not really there, my friend.
Right.
Anyways, moving on from that. That's like a whole loaded gun that we don't want to set
Yeah.
off right now.
No, no,
we
not
can
at all.
we can save that for the next podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. What is this? Scott, have you ever heard of a restaurant in Vegas called the Heart Attack Grill? They have a large scale, and if you're over 365 pounds, you eat free. Are you serious? Oh my
That's
gosh.
insane.
That is crazy. Well, guys, like the 600 Pound Life show, it just goes to show you like how people enable each other. This guy, his wife was like 635 pounds, and she can't walk more than 5 steps without being out of breath. And they go to the grocery store, and she's like throwing Oreos and soda and like all these things. And if you tell her that she can't have it, she throws a fit. Then they give it to her anyways. And it's like you're just feeding into this person's problem at that point. And now we live in a society where you're supposed to just accept her. Oh, you're 635 pounds. Well, I'm a fitness professional, but I'm not going to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. But if I saw you put a gun to your head and you're about to pull the trigger, I'm allowed to tell you not to pull the trigger because people don't see those two things as the same thing. Like, to me, it's the same thing. If you're stuffing your body with all kinds of crap, you might as well just put a gun to your head. It's the same thing. It's just that the gun is quicker.
Right. And like that's something that the whole like body acceptance, like fat acceptance movement doesn't really think about, right? Like they say, just do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, feel however you want, and you're beautiful and you're awesome. And I'm not saying this as a person who is not body positive. I want people to like how they look in general, right? But accepting things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, like if a woman is like significantly overweight and she decides she's going to have a child, she's at risk for a whole bunch of like skeletal structure issues, geriatric diabetes, like all this awful stuff that could be avoided if they just had some more information to work with and actually decided to do something to lose some weight instead of just saying, "Oh well, I deserve this, so I'm going to have it," and shoving everything they want in their face.
Yeah, exactly. And JRS, I saw your comment. JRS said he was kidding, guys. He didn't think I had white privilege. Um, Joe, I think it would be interesting for maybe you to tell your story, your fitness journey, so people can kind of see, where you came from and where your opinion stems from.
Yeah, sure. So, so I'm not at the end of my fitness journey, which I don't think it's ever going to actually end. But probably 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, I didn't make any sort of good decisions when it came to nutrition. I used to drink like 6 energy drinks a day just to make it through and like get all of my work done, things like that. And I ate whatever I wanted. And I think I weighed. I was afraid of the scale. I wouldn't step on the scale. I avoided it like entirely. And what I decided to do was to actually like kind of get in control of my life. Like I was working an office job. I finally had like the time and the energy to devote to it. And when I actually looked after I lost a little bit of weight, I mean, I was probably weighing in around like 260 pounds, and I mean, I that was actually part of where I found out about Scott. I started looking at your videos because I was doing a 5x5 program and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't deadlift more than 225 pounds. And I still remember it. The first video of yours that I ever watched was how to deadlift more weight.
Nice.
And I finally figured out, oh, it's because I'm deadlifting wrong. So a little while after that, I was still convinced that I could just eat whatever I want as long as I trained hard. I something that'll be revealed later would be like confessions from a V Shreds client. We won't get into that. We'll be here all night. But I actually I met with Scott. I was one of Scott's clients before we started training together, and it was just I had no idea what I was doing pretty much until then. I was just told eat this, lift this, and then make sure you're getting enough sleep. And then like when I started working with Scott, I started to really really get it. And my body composition has changed a lot, and I've had a couple of setbacks, but that's a normal thing. And in 1 year, I went from what was it? It was like right around 250 pounds, like I said, when I started working with you, Scott. And today I'm weighing in around 214 pounds. So, I mean, the way that I'm coming from it is I know how being overweight like really severely affected my life. Like I would sit down, and if I sat down in the same position for too long, I would get up and like my hip would hurt. I would lose feeling in my feet. Like it was awful. I used to have wicked heartburn. It was bad.
Sounds like me after we had our leg day last week, but I didn't have everything except the heartburn.
Oh man, my legs still hurt. Um, but knowing about what I'm putting into my body and how it's going to affect it has definitely changed my perspective on what kind of food I eat and what decisions that I make. Like I'll still have like I'll still have a cheeseburger. I'll still have some pizza every once in a while, but I make a conscious decision. I say, well, maybe I should, go for a run later, or I need to make sure that I really hit my protein macro after I eat all these extra carbs and everything, so that I could burn a little bit of that off. But people don't do that on the average.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I feel like the people who don't work out, or people who don't make health a part of their lifestyle, that's the part of it that they don't get and they don't understand. They think people like me all I do every day is work out and think about like brown rice, broccoli, and chicken. Like that's how these people think, and it's like it's a struggle to try to get these people to realize that that's not what it's about. Living a healthy lifestyle um isn't about just being in it all the time. It's about making good choices. Like if you had a lazy day, go for a walk outside at the end of the day. If you've been eating junk all day, try to eat a little better during the weekend, or try to have better foods at night. Don't stuff your face with candy before you go to bed. It's like you can make little decisions to live a healthier lifestyle without having to be ripped and muscular. You like you don't have to have 30% body fat nowadays to be considered normal. You can still go between 15 to 20% and still have a pretty normal life that doesn't revolve around the gym.
Oh, seriously. You realistically, you don't even need to go to the gym to be considered like in shape or to have, lower body fat percentages. All you have to do is just eat less food than your body burns and you're fine. And unfortunately, with the way that like food culture is in America, it's always bigger is better. It's always, do you want a biggie size that? Would you like to make that a large? And that's just what people do instead of getting informed as to what they're actually putting in their bodies.
Dude, a small ice cream right now is like this big. It's like I don't even understand how a small is this big. And this isn't even the cone. The cone is like here. It's
Oh
just
no, it's nuts.
it's nuts. It's nuts. But it's just the society we live in, and we're forced to accept this. Like, I don't know if you guys travel a lot. Me and my wife travel quite a bit. The bathrooms when you go to Paris, they're like this wide. And I don't if I can barely fit in them, I don't know how people that are, grossly overweight are fitting inside these bathrooms when they travel. Or maybe they don't travel. I don't know. But it should be encouraged. It should be encouraged to be accepting of people. Like, as you guys know, on my channel, I don't care what race you are, what nationality you are. I don't care if you're a woman, a man, transgendered, gay. I don't care if you're tall, short, overweight, muscular. Nobody has ever been turned away from help on my website, on my YouTube channel, because I've learned to accept that people are different, and we might not see eye to eye on every single topic, but that doesn't mean that I have to just like I mean, unless obviously you want to murder people or something. Then obviously, I can't accept that. But general things, we're allowed to have a difference of opinion, and that's how the world should be.
Right. And that's exactly what we were talking about before. Having a difference of opinion and being able to discuss that in a productive way is what helps you to grow as a person because somebody might the thing is that everybody assumes that they know everything. And if you go through life assuming that you're always right, you're not going to be able to handle it. Number one, when someone proves you wrong, and you're not going to have any sort of you're not going to have any breadth of experience because you've never experienced an opinion different from your own.
I agree with that 100%. And first of all, with the plus size stuff, right? So the plus size models, I had this thought, I wanted to get it out there. How do you stay plus size? Just thinking about fitness in general. I know that if I go to the gym and I train and I eat right, I'm gonna look a certain way. And we glorify now plus size. All the TV shows that have to do with fashion glorify plus size. Do you just do like half the work? Like, do you just cook like all your healthy food and throw half of it away to stay like in that plus size range? Like, I don't understand why, if you are in shape and you're working out, why is there no sense of urgency to take it to the next level? Like, when I was a kid, no matter what I did, whether it was gaming or sports or the gym, I didn't go there, just to kind of mess around and be mediocre. I always wanted to see what I was capable of. And I feel like we live in a society today where we enable mediocrity, or we enable like half-assing everything. Like, you don't get A's anymore in school. You get a check plus or a check minus. Everybody gets an award. There's no more MVPs. In some schools, I don't know if you guys know this, kids are not allowed to have best friends. they are not allowed to say the word best friend because it makes other kids feel left out. Like there's no sense of urgency to be an individual and be the best version of yourself you can be. And when I say things like, why would you want to stay plus size if you're already doing everything the right way? Like if you're already going to the gym and you're already eating correctly, why don't we just, in my mind, I'm like, why don't we take full advantage of that and get you in the best possible shape that you can be in if you're already doing it to begin with?
Right. And like I think that you really nailed it as far as the participation trophies, right? Because if everybody gets awarded for doing the same thing, and they're going to get an award regardless, right? Why would they ever put in more effort?
Exactly. And then that's kind of where I feel like this pageant's going to go. Like what is going to be the why what is going to be the qualifications now for these women to enter this pageant? Like a big part of the pageant, like fitness is tough, guys. Staying in shape is tough. And if you're entering, to circle back to Miss America, if you're doing Miss America, you obviously have been doing pageants your entire life, which means you've had to not only become a well-rounded person to win, you've had to develop certain skills, you've had to learn things about society in order to answer the questions they ask you, and on top of doing all of that, you've also had to learn how to take care of yourself. So that's like a integral piece to all of this. Like it is hard to stay in shape and have a full-time job and do all these other things. Like it's not like it's just this like easy thing that you can do. Oh, I think today I'm going to be healthy, so it's wicked easy. I'll just do it.
Right. I mean, it's like all those memes that you see where someone goes, like, oh, I ate a salad. Where's my six pack? You know what I mean? Like that's not how it goes. Um, but I wanted to break down the actual scorecard for the Miss America pageant that they used in 2018, right? So like we already talked about the preliminary, the 53% of winners for all of the Miss America pageants won the preliminary swimsuit, right? So the preliminary round, 25% of the scorecard is how well they do on the interview. 5% is how they do on the question, which is why like any of those really funny question answers that you see, you're like, man, how did they move on? That's why it's only 5%. Um, the talent portion is 35%, which is the biggest item on the actual scorecard. The next one is evening wear at 20%, and the lifestyle and fitness swimwear is only 15% of the preliminary ticket, right? But where 53% of all pageant winners have also won the preliminary swimwear competition, like that says something. It says that these people aren't just they're not just good looking in a bathing suit, but they're deep people as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we're not going to sit here and say that a big part of the show for probably most dudes that watch is they want to see a bunch of sexy women walking around on stage in bathing suits. Like, we're not going to sit here and say that that's not a thing. But like you
Right.
just said, it's not the main component. Like back when the competition first started and it wasn't a pageant, yes, it was just who looked the best in a bathing suit. But it has evolved so much from that. And a lot of these women that are pissed that they're taking that out, they were able to pay for scholarships for college from winning these competitions and participating in these pageants. So to say it's a bad thing and it doesn't amount to anything is just crazy.
Right. I mean, a lot of money goes out of the Miss America organization for scholarships, and even just like the final night scorecard, the swimsuit for the final night is 10%. Right. You've got the composite, which is 25%. Evening wear is 15%, but that's going away too. The talent portion is the biggest one on there. That's 30% of the ticket, and then they've got two questions. Question number one is 5%, and question number two is 15. So I mean the whole shebang, like for the whole entire Miss America pageant, right? How good you look in a swimsuit only matters 25%.
Exactly. And it should matter because it's fitness and you should learn to take care of yourself. Again, people need to just learn to deal with life and just stop complaining about, not being accepted because they didn't like they if if you don't meet the requirements, then you can't do it. Like I suck at shooting guns, so I'm not gonna go do a gun shooting competition. You know.
Right.
And then even speaking about the talent, there was some good points made by. I read some articles by a former Miss American. I forget her name, but she was talking about how I guess there was a contestant that was like an Olympic skier, or maybe she was just giving an example. I'm sorry, guys, I'm a little off on that. I should have wrote it down. But anyways, the point she was making was instead of getting rid of swimsuit, what they should have done is tried to find a way to make the talent portion um, I wouldn't say more interesting. Find a way to make the talent portion not be just about things you can do on stage, because then that would open the doors up to all these other women. Like say, let's say for example, if you are a downhill skier and you're one of the best in the country, you're on the Olympic team. Well, you can't exactly downhill skill on stage at Miss America, but maybe you could, do a video showcase of your downhill skiing. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe they could bring more women into the Miss America pageant if they found a way to include different types of skills and talents that don't have to be demonstrated on stage in front of everybody.
Exactly. I think that, like you just said, if they could find a way to broaden the talent spectrum, right, and allow more diverse talent to be shown, that would be crazy too. Because looking again, just looking at the averages, right? Like numbers don't have feelings; they don't lie to you. But and this it's going to go above 100% because some contestants also sang while playing an instrument. But 28% of winners played an instrument. 87% of winners sang a song, and 18% performed a dance. Right, so you don't see any percentages of people, deadlifting a car or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like there could be a whole lot more that could be brought into the fold besides singing, dancing, and playing instruments.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100% because you know what? At the end of the day, if we like a lot of the women who like and you make a good point like deadlifting and the deadlifting competitions, some of these women they're kind of burly and curvy and they're strong as hell. They could enter the Miss America competition if they just adjusted the talent portion. You know what I mean? So like it could be
Right.
fair game for them and they're not fitting this mold of just being super skinny like the photo we have here on screen. But it would definitely fit the mold of being more diverse and accepting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and like the whole
Shadow Crone said that. He goes, I want to see a talent show where they go on stage and their talent is deadlift 400 pounds. I mean, that would be impressive.
that would be amazing. I
Woman
mean,
just.
I oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and now for Jennifer's talent. She just walks on stage and rips like a 500-pound deadlift and walks away. Everyone's like, yeah!
But at the same time, like with the trend that this is going, right? Like how the pageant is quote unquote evolving. If someone were to go up on stage and deadlift 400 pounds, what would the response be to that?
Yeah, exactly. They'd probably be like, oh, well, that's unfair because the other girls can't deadlift 400 pounds, so you can't do that.
Right.
Probably, right? I hate to say it. Let's see. Let's get some questions from our audience right here.
Yeah.
I'd marry the girl whose talent is trolling Planet Fitness on a daily. Nice, Brandon. Let's see. I'm just trying to pull in. Here we go. It takes a second for our chat to catch up with theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's what's happening, Matthew L. Is that the pageant is, and that's what basically everyone's tweeting and all the news articles are saying is that the pageant itself is losing viewers, and now that they're getting rid of the swimsuit part of it, they basically just killed themselves. Like it's not people aren't gonna watch. How
I
do
was
you
gonna.
how do you like your Wayman? I only have one woman.
You've got Leah Riley who can deadlift a barbell with two hot Scott Hermans on each side.
Ah,
That's amazing.
that's pretty good, Leah. I like the way you think. Oh, well, that's so, Leah. How do you're a woman? I can see from your name and your photo. What's your opinion on the things that we're saying? Because obviously we're two guys talking about a women's competition. It'd be nice to hear from more of the women subscribers and hear what they have to say. I said Wayman New Lifter because that's how he spelled it. Waman. That's why I said Wayman. How often do you eat fried food? I just had some McDonald's nuggets today. Does that count? Oh,
I think that counts.
Leah Riley says, I think you're right. Well, I'm glad that you agree, Leah, because trying to come off as unbiased and not come off as a douchebag or a jerk in any way, because, like I said, at the end of the day, like myself and Joe, very accepting and more than willing to help anyone who wants to get in shape. But we should be allowed to be angry if overweight individuals are telling us that fitness is dumb, and then they're basically shaming us for wanting to create a healthier place for everyone.
Right. I mean, that's really like that's what it's about. First, like we said, Scott and myself, like we're about helping people to get in shape, no matter where they're coming from, and it's when people who are not in shape judge other people who are trying to get into shape
I
that there's
agree.
a problem.
I agree. So somebody said, how do you judge a person? I judge them based on their actions. That's how I judge people, whether, and I basically come down to either they're a good person or they're a bad person, and that is how I judge people. And
Yeah, I mean
my,
that if
no, I was
I
gonna,
was just gonna say that's the easiest way to judge a person is by what they do.
somebody wanted me to say complex cabs. It's not, they spelled cobs, it's cabs. It's Cahbs.
Cabs.
Joe Jose Flores, Scott, have you heard about the woman who joined the Rangers regiment because of the feminist movement was on it at the time, but since it happened, no other woman has joined again? No, I haven't heard of that. That'd be interesting to look in. Scott, have you ever been to Ireland? That's where I'm from. Yes, I stayed in the Temple Bar area the last time I was in Ireland, and it was crazy fun. Um, let's see, I'm just trying to get in here. And A
Someone wants you
808.
to say barbell.
Oh, Babel. Oh, thank you, Malak de Luna. A 808 says Sports Illustrated was the same. Now they go back showing hot girls. Yeah, I exactly. Um, Ben Chambers says I think contests based on opinions are so dumb. No one will ever be good enough. I can agree with that. Did you know Ireland beat Australia in a cracker of a match? What? Hold on. I need to get down here. Let me just try and go through these questions, guys.
Azatir said, "So we're being health shamed. I've really started getting fit within the past year, and I've seen it. Why are you spending so much time at the gym? Seriously, I've gotten that too, man. I understand exactly where you're coming from with that one. I mean, I don't spend a ton of time at the gym. Like I go and I work out with Scott at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week. And I have some people ask me, so how long are you at the gym? You doing it for like 3 hours a day? That's like no, that's not how it works. I
And
go and I work out like for an hour and a half, maybe 5 days a week.
and you guys have to understand that when people give you crap about going to the gym, it's because on the inside they're just mad that they're not doing it, and then they don't have the motivation to go do it themselves because they know every single day they wake up, they eat crap, they go to work, they eat crap, they go home, they eat crap, they watch TV, they eat crap, then they go to bed, and then they repeat that every single day. So when they go to work and you're talking about how you had an amazing weekend and you went for a run, you did some gym stuff, they're gonna make fun of you because they don't do it themselves.
I think that's exactly right. I think that a lot of people they project their insecurities onto other people. Like when if you like, and that's kind of how you can start to judge the people around you on their actions, right? So if you start going to the gym and you start getting in shape, and the first thing that one of the people that's supposed to be your friend says to you next is, "Oh man, like you've been juicing up, huh?" Then that's an issue. That's them being insecure about your progress because they're not making any.
I agree. I like this comment by A808. Why not make Miss America a radio show so no one can see their body? That's hilarious, man. Here's a good question. So, I like this. So, what is the number one quality that you look for in a person? I would say for me, Joe, the number one quality I look for in a person is
Yeah, I can do it.
reliability. I like to
Yeah,
know if somebody's reliable because those are the only kind of people I want in my life.
right. And I mean, I think that only second to people being reliable is people being accountable to themselves and being accountable to other people.
Nice. So we're basically on the same page about that.
Yeah, pretty much. We're on the same page about a few things.
What is medic? I don't. You didn't really write a question, medic. You just wrote like a sentence, sexually describing women. Oh, never mind. He was talking about the radio. Only on the radio, but sexually describing women on the show. Here comes Miss New Hampshire. She's wearing a very sexy white bathing suit. She has. I won't get into that. I won't get in trouble.
We'll get in a little bit of trouble there.
Wife could be listening.
uh, Brandon Adrian. I want to hit the natty level where people wonder if I'm juicing. That means I'm really succeeding. I've gotten that question too, which is actually kind of funny. I think it was like it might have been a year ago. I put up a deadlift video on Facebook. I went to a family event, and my grandfather pulled me aside. He just turned 85. He pulled me aside. And he goes, "Joseph, you're not doing steroids or anything, are you?" I was like, "No, Grandpa. No, I'm not. Don't worry."
Gotta love those grandpa questions.
Grandpa questions are the best.
Leah Riley. I'm actually friends with Mike Matthews. We've done a couple podcasts together, actually, so I'm glad that you found me through his book. I know he links to a lot of my videos. That's awesome. Let's see here. Kingdom Hearts is a bet. What people are talking about Kingdom Hearts. And that's good, Saints FPS. I missed 2 workouts last week because I met some people online. I was having fun, but I missed 2, so I'm gonna push myself 10 times harder this week. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You should be having fun. Part of having a healthy lifestyle is having fun on your own, not just going to the gym every day.
Absolutely. You gotta have balance, and whether that's work-life balance or workout and life balance, that's important.
Here's a question
Oh,
from Shadow WRPB. Hey Scott, I'm on my way towards sub 20% body fat, long battle from obesity. However, I am disheartened at how I always feel pooch sitting down. Feel a pouch sitting down. Um, so I mean, Shadow WRPB. It really depends on how overweight you were. Sometimes you have to get that excess skin surgically removed. It's not gonna fully retract. But I mean, if you're sub 20% and it's still there, I mean, it depends on how big it is. It really does. But I would go talk to a doctor or a plastic surgeon or something to see exactly what's going on, because I can't really give an opinion without seeing. And we're hearing Joe's dog right now. Joe, are you there?
Hold on, my audio just got a little messed up.
Yeah, we're hearing your dog.
What the fuck just happened?
Hey, no swearing on the stream. Joe, we can still hear you. Let me see. Joe, we
Oop.
can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we could hear you the whole time. Dropping
Oh,
F
whoops.
dropping F bombs.
Whoopsies. Yeah, no, my audio just went really wonky for a second. Like I couldn't actually hear what you were saying.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. And yeah, my dog just came inside.
Okay, Charlie in Westeros. Ah, my ears. I'm a Disney princess.
Sorry, Charlie.
Oh man. Mada YouTube, Scott, how many times a week do you work out, and how come you don't have a full routine of one of your gym session videos? I don't know what you're talking about. I have lots of those. And I have all my programs of my full videos of my gym routines on my website, muscularstrength.com. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Shadow Crone. They're really comfortable, man. I actually have my own tank top through them as well. If you guys want to check that out too, and I have a code for 10% off. Just saying, it's Herman10. Here, I'll write down for you.
Yeah, all those shirts are like super comfortable. Um, if all of mine weren't drying so that I could wear them tomorrow to work out, I would be wearing one right now.
Albubtina, thank you for the donation, man. $1 donation for the stream. First stream was a
Woo!
success. Someone said, "Watch it, Joe. This is a Christian live stream." Well, guys, I mean, I think we're pretty much at the tail end of our first live stream. I feel like we talked about a lot of really good things, and there were a lot of really good questions in the live chat here. I think at the end of the day, if we don't do something as a community or a fitness and health community, not even talking about Miss America anymore, just society in general, it's gonna get to the point to where like you can't even like if someone goes in the gym and they're overweight and you go up to them and you're like, "Hey, you want me to teach you how to work out and eat right?" It's like they're going to sue you for saying that they're overweight. Like it's just kind of getting to that point where we're starting to live in a world where you can't even unless you have the same exact opinion as of the person you're talking to, if they're a total stranger, it's like you're just going to get ripped in half for saying anything. And it's starting to get ridiculous. I like that.
Oh,
Hashtag swole
seriously.
acceptance.
I
So we definitely were going to be doing more live streams, guys. We would love to maybe get some topic suggestions from all of you. If you want to post topic suggestions in this chat, or it actually make more sense if you guys go to the community tab on my site. I mean, on YouTube, where I just posted about this live stream, and maybe leave some topic suggestions. And we'll probably do this starting every Sunday. I am moving to Florida in like 3 weeks. It's coming really quick, so I want to try to get this to be a regular thing. And then once I'm in Florida, it should only take me about 2 days to get down there and get to my. Well, I won't be in my new house yet. I'll be staying in an Airbnb, but get down there, I'll be able to just like whip open my computer and get this thing set up. So I should be able to keep it going. But I mean, this is good. I like talking to you guys, and I like that Joe's on here to offer his point of view. We'll work on Joe not having so much background noise in the next audio stream.
think my microphone just picks up a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, man, you gotta just lock yourself in your room, you know.
Yeah, I guess I will have that locked down for next time.
Sounds good. Don't go to Florida. You're gonna get your face eaten. I don't know. They haven't had any face eating episodes for like the last 6 or 7 years, so I think it would be cool. Shadow Crone. I think if you did a setup like a laid back podcast would be awesome. I feel like was the kind of like a laid back podcast.
I think so.
So Medic says your microphone picks up shit from the other side of the world.
I mean, maybe it does.
All right, guys. So is Scott's the one talking about? Why is my mic bad? Erwin, is my microphone not working well? I can't hear my own audio because it would double up.
Yeah, that would be very confusing.
I guess that'd be a good thing to ask. So guys, how was the audio here? Hey, what's up, Austin Burge? Don't worry, Saints. The streams will be back up. Like it'll be live on my YouTube channel. Okay, audio is good. All right, everyone was just talking smack. Okay, fine.
I mean, at the
Okay.
same time, we're going to be putting this up, in like iTunes and Google Play and stuff like that too. So
Next time, include your wife in a bikini. I'm sure once I'm in Florida, she'll always be in a bikini, so you'll get your wish. Awesome. All right, guys. So that wraps up the first episode of the Vitality Mentality. And basically, the name that Joe and I came up with, it means Vitality Mentality. It just basically means that you're always persevering to be healthy of body and mind. That's kind of the way I see it. What about you, Joe?
It's right along the same lines. I mean, vitality, like, by definition, is, robust health and strength and things like that. So in kind of like the time where someone can say something to you, and if your feelings get hurt, you can just demonize the crap out of them. Having kind of a strong, centered mindset that isn't just easily swayed or broken by someone being dumb, I think is really important.
Oh, look, we got the hashtag from Cover Phil, Vitality Mentality. Nice.
Yeah.
Su- and I like Anthony. Super Saiyan Scott, you know it. Yeah. All right, guys. So before I end this live stream, supposed to be launching my app this week. So if you guys would like to get on the list so you can automatically download my app the second it's released, I'm going to put a link for you right now. It's newapp.muscularstrength.com. So you can save that and you can basically put your email there. As soon as the app drops, you'll be logged right in. Thank you, Moto Addicts. You have anything you want to say, Joe, before we wrap this up?
I mean, I'm gonna just go ahead and plug my own channel.
Go ahead.
I haven't been doing a whole lot of stuff on my fitness channel, mostly because I've been focused on actually earning my certified personal trainer. Because I don't want any misconceptions about any of the advice that I'd be giving. But it's not your average Joe Fitness. So, I mean, I'm gonna just go ahead and plug that real quick. One of the things that I will be coming out with is a couple of programs. They'll be up on muscularstrength.com as well in the future, but I'll put a couple of the like tutorials and stuff like that up on my own channel. So if you want to check me out, there it is. Oh, I can't actually do that yet because I wasn't admin.
Oh, Joe, leave a regular comment and I'll make you an admin so you can post your link. So Leah, my app is basically the app version of my website, so you have access to all my programs, all my articles, all my recipes, all my individual workout videos. Every single routine on my site has PDF downloads and photos. It's pretty crazy. And every time I post, I don't know if you guys know this, but every time I post a video on YouTube, I actually have the same exact content in article format on my website. So if you just want to have like a quick read of what the video is about, or maybe you've already watched the video and you just kind of want a refresher because I talked about a specific topic, you can always go to the article version on my website, and then once the app is out, you'll be able to search for it right on your phone through the app. So it's going to be really cool. Ah, thank you, Leah. I really appreciate that. Do a no. Oh, so Franonymous says do a no topic live stream, just talking to the community. I mean, I'm definitely gonna do that too. I would like to live stream more. It's just been difficult because I'm in the middle of moving, but I can definitely start live streaming more. What age do you think I should start cycling Tren, Deca, and insulin and growth hormone? Ah, just start right now. Just end your life. You know? Why not? The sooner the better, man. Come on, what kind of question is that? You shouldn't be taking any of that crap. Come on, man. You don't need that. Um, Scott, before you end the stream, watch Ram Ranch. I guarantee after you listen to it, you'll be playing it in the gym. All right, I'll check it out. Nice, Anthony. It's so hard to leave the live stream because I feel bad because you guys keep writing comments and I want to read them and reply to them. Do you do any game streams by chance or anime streams? Yeah, Moro. I do have a gaming channel. My gaming channel is www. Hold on. youtube.com/oh the hermanity. That's my gaming channel right there. Actually, let me pull up the actual link for you guys so you can just click it.
I got it, Scott.
Oh, do you, Joe? Do you got it?
Oh, I do. I was looking for it.
All right, guys. This is a quick edit to the beginning of the video.
Yeah, so Joe just posted the link. Well, Caleb, would you watch some cringy gym videos on a live stream? Yeah, I mean, as long as I don't get flagged for copyright, I can definitely do that. On my other channel, on my gaming channel, I lost a bet, so I had to stream Dragon Ball Evolution, and then I got flagged for copyright, and then I lost live streaming for 3 months. It was terrible. It was a terrible day. Not only because I lost my live streaming privileges, but because I lost it watching the worst movie ever made.
Oh,
It
seriously.
was terrible. Oh, that's awesome, Trayvon. Yeah, my cheat and recover program. If you have a plateau, whether it's strength or muscle, my cheat and recover program will help you get right through it. Yeah, Hellstorm Angel, check out my gaming channel. It's mostly Dragon Ball Z stuff right now. Mad Frog Films at 14. You should be getting the majority of your food, I mean, the majority of your protein from food, but there's nothing wrong with having one shake a day, in my opinion. I mean, everything says 18 plus because that's what the law is. But as long as your meal plan's on point, if sometimes you need some extra protein, you can have a shake. Just don't be reliant on those things. You know, even as an adult, you shouldn't be reliant on supplements. Please Oh, now I have to. Justin Ward just paid $2 in a super chat. Please dispel the overtraining notion for me. So overtraining is different for everybody because everybody has different limits. So overtraining is basically when you get to the point of exhaustion where you're just kind of beating a dead horse. Like if you go to the gym and you're training chest for 90 minutes straight, after the first 45 to 60, your chest probably had enough damage done to it. And then after that 45 to 60 minutes, now you're just kind of overtraining. The muscle can only be broken down so long, and I mean so much, and the longer you train doesn't mean the more gains you make. If anything, me and Joe, our workouts have been like 45 minutes to an hour max, and our rest periods are short, and we just pick like 2 or 3 exercises per body part depending on what we're training, and we just hammer 2 or 3 exercises for 10 sets apiece, and we're done. And
Oh, seriously.
we have amazing workouts.
Yeah. I mean, my chest was still hurting on like Thursday from our Monday workout.
Oh yeah, dude, mine was too. Mine was too. I'm gonna give you guys that. I'm gonna give you guys the link to my cheat and recover program. Joe, your microphone sounds like a spaceship, like woo 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 woo.
Oh, really?
What are you doing over there?
I'm literally just sitting in front of my computer. I mean, I've got the air conditioner on in the other room, but it's in the other room.
Joe's doing some funny stuff, guys. So this is the link to my cheat and recover program. Um, I would recommend everybody try this program because if you have a hard time building strength or you're stuck in a muscle building plateau, this will push you through it and get you some more gains. There's the link right there.
Yeah,
Someone says you have a Windows 90 computer. That's hilarious. How often do you do anything under 6 reps? We actually will hit like if we're doing like a set of 10, if we're doing 10 sets, say on a dumbbell bench press, like the last 3 or 4 sets, me and Joe will go heavier and try to aim for like 5 or 6 repetitions within that same set. So sets like 1 through 6 or 1 through 7, we'll try to get 8 to 10 reps. And then so we can overload with more weight on the last 3 or 4 sets, then we'll go 5 to 6.
yeah.
You're very welcome, Charlie. What is SJWS? Turf Dreaming
Uh,
and What?
Social justice warriors
I didn't
is
realize.
what that
Oh,
SPW is.
I didn't realize I was turning into one. I thought I was turning into the opposite of one. That was the point of this live stream. Or do I not understand the definition of social justice warrior?
Oh wow.
Oh, damn, fitness geek. Thank you, man. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Help with the Florida move coming up. I appreciate that. And you owe me a phone call. Maybe you should give me a phone call this week, fitness geek. We got to catch up and see how your gains have been. It's been way too long. Thank you, Matthew L. Yeah, I think so too, Hellstorm Angel. And Hellstorm Angel, I did see you doing your posts about your weight loss journey, and I'm very happy for you, man. I didn't get a chance to say anything because Joe was talking. Every time I saw you do another post, I didn't want to be rude, but that's really good, man. I'm proud of you. Awesome, Fitness Geek. But Tony Huge keeps saying the earlier you start, the better the gains. I feel like there's a lot of truth to that. If you start, that's why I think it's really important to get kids into sports and to get kids into exercising because it's a lot easier to start early and get your body in shape when you have the time versus having a lifetime of not exercising and eating bad and all of a sudden trying to do it when you're like in your 30s. It can be done, but it's a lot easier to maintain than to start. I guess is the point with that.
Yeah, trust me on that one. I basically started actually being serious while I was working out at like 26, and I'm turning 30 this year. So, I mean, if I could go back in time and tell myself one thing at the age of 14, it would have been to start lifting weights.
Nice. And I agree. I just saw Brian with the One Piece symbol. This is the program you want to do if you're a natty.
Yeah. And then I've seen a couple of, I think it's like Tips and Tricks AK asking what our upcoming video topic is going to be. I'm wondering if that's for the next live stream or for something else.
Well, we got a whole week, probably for the next live stream. We got a whole week to figure it out. You're very welcome, Brian. But we're going to try to pick interesting topics so that we don't just kind of fall into the same. I mean, I think at the end of every live stream, we should definitely spend some time answering questions, whether they're about the topic we're talking about or not, just because that's what live stream is for. But I feel like we need to make sure that we're picking things to talk about that don't just continue to fall into the same category. Like this Miss America thing is about body shaming, so we don't want to talk about something next week that also is about body shaming, but it's a different like competition or something. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And then we got Saints asking if it's possible to do boxing for a career, taekwondo for a hobby, and weightlifting to get a nice physique. Basically, a lot of cardio and getting a nice physique. I think that that's definitely possible. Things like boxing and taekwondo actually contribute to your physique, obviously, and lifting weights is going to help to keep you strong and keep your muscle there.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then Young Sandwich M and M MC, yeah, after you complete PPL, then go to Cheat and Recover. That's basically the transition. Cheat and Recover is the like crazy advanced form of PPL because the Cheat and Recover program is a push pull leg style workout. It just includes overtraining.
Right. Or
Oh,
overloading, right?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and
it's
oh,
okay,
go ahead.
turf dreaming. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. It's just chat. I don't take things personal. The only thing I take personal is my wife's psycho stalker who's like threatening to shoot us and stuff. So that's about it. that's
Yeah,
a
and that's something to take personal.
Yeah, that's something to take personal. That can be a whole other live stream. We can talk about how cyberbullying is just like pathetic in terms of what the justice system does for you. Saints FSP. What I do for my cheat and recover program is if you watch the actual video for the program, I have alternate exercises for anything that involves a machine. I do give an alternate exercise so that anybody can do the program. And then if at the end of the day you still can't do what's in the video, you can just leave a comment on the website itself on that program or that routine. I will get a notification for it, and then I can give you an alternative because all the notifications on my site go directly to me. Okay, Anthony, like the fourth time he's telling me to go to sleep. All right, guys. I think you're right. It is time for bed. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out in the live stream. We'll definitely be back. Hopefully I'll get this video figured out this soon, so you guys can see Joe's beautiful face on the live stream too. What's that? I don't think so, Fran Anonymous. She doesn't watch my videos. She just stalks my wife. But anyways, hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, if you have topic suggestions, you guys can go post them on the community tab, which is if you go to my channel and click on community, you'll see it right there. And yeah, as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.
See ya.